Following podcast contains spoilers. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. Welcome back to the Havoc Hour on this glorious 2022. I'm back here talking some movie reviews. And as always, you know, when I bring you the movie reviews, I have to bring my panel with me. And so today we are going to be talking about the recently released Spider-Man No Way Home. It just came out this about 2 weeks ago. So if you haven't seen it, as you heard, as we got started here, pause it, go see the movie, come back to us when you heard it, because we're not pulling any punches here today. But I'd like to introduce my panel here. Of course, as always, my movie aficionado, horror movie aficionado, whatever you want to call him, the Warden Matt Ridder, host of the Smacking the Raw podcast, the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub. And of course, my client, host of the Sheet League Showcase, and a host of other shows under that banner, the emancipated Miss Katie Kinzy Bebe. How's everybody doing on this level?
Pornhub Poppy.
The Pornhub Poppy. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. She's got a new title. You got to listen to the other shows to catch up on that.
It's good to be here. It's been a while since I've got to podcast with Dr. Reek Baker, BBC. So
Stop it.
I'm happy to be here doing this. I'm excited. I've been waiting to talk about this. I got a little something to get off my chest, a little confession to make. So yeah. Katie, how are you? Drunk?
Yeah.
Living life. It's a great time. Had a long day. Leave me alone.
Okay.
Well, you guys are about 2.5 hours into 2022. I'm about an hour and a half into 2022. Kicking off the new year, right?
And I just started drinking at like 12:30, so that shit hit fast.
I mean, how hard were you just jumping into it? I mean, you just
listen, I was at work all day. I barely slept because like I got like some wheezing left over from the Rona. That was fun. So I couldn't sleep. And then I had to work 7 hours and deal with a bunch of bullshit and stupid fucking people. And then I couldn't drink at my sister's because I had to drive home. So here we are. I'm drunk. Ta-da!
So that pool full of liquor that Kendrick Lamar was talking about in that song and just diving in, you got that pool full of liquor and you just dove in.
Now, I wish I had more liquor. I sadly don't, but I'd still be drinking if I had more.
You said not a pool, more like a bathtub.
Like a sink.
That
was a sink.
But we're not here to talk about how drunk Katie is or how drunk Reeker may or may not be. We're here to talk about Spider-Man, right?
Yes, sir. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to the Warden Matt Ridder to give our most entertaining recap of the film.
All right. So if you guys remember from the last film, Spider-Man was outed as Peter Parker by J. Jonah Jameson, who was just a dickhead. He's also been accused of killing Mysterio because he got framed and set up on some bullshit. So his life is ruined. Like, Happy and Aunt May broke up. They're getting harassed. He can't get into fucking college. His girlfriend can't get into college because of him. His best friend can't get into college because of him. Fucking Flash is running around pretending he's best friends with him, but still getting into college because everyone knows it's some bullshit. Like, life is not good for Peter Parker. So Peter's like, I'm going to fix this shit. And what do you do when you need something fixed? You go to the doctor. Ain't that right, Dr. Reek Baker? He'll fix your back up. This doctor's going to fix the timeline. He's going to erase everyone that knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man. No one is going to remember that they know Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Great idea, right? Wong's like, no, this is stupid. Don't do this shit. I'm out. Peace. I want nothing to do with this. Steven's like, I got this. I've done it plenty of times before. No problem. Well, he doesn't realize that he is dealing with a child. And this child realized halfway through the incantation, there are a lot of people that I don't want to have to come out to again. I've already done it once. I don't want to do it again. I personally have never had to come out. I hear it's very hard to do, let alone multiple times. So Peter's like, well, Aunt May, and then Happy, and also Ned, and MJ, and then, you know, the janitor at the school, and all these fucking people, and all of a sudden the spell gets all fucking crazy and breaks the fabric of space and time. And now, like a mega porno, we got people coming in from fucking brands that you don't even expect to be seeing. You got the Green Goblin and Doc Ock from the original franchise. You got Sandman and Lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man franchise just showing up, causing havoc, and all what?
Sandman's from the original. Isn't he?
Not important. Electro, and the Lizard, Sandman. It's hard to remember because that third movie was so trash. Sorry.
I mean,
anyway,
I know, but
I don't even know why they included someone from that, but at least it wasn't that version of them. Neither here nor there.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Got all these fucking villains coming in. And they're all coming after Peter because fucking Spider-Man. But then they each find out, oh, that's not my Spider-Man. Motherfucking Green Goblin, who is back from the dead, confused as shit, tries to hit on Aunt May, acting homeless. Seems like he's cool until like the demon inside comes out and takes over. So they're like, all right, we're gonna capture all these people. We're gonna send them back by using this box and the spell. And Strange had a whole plan. Peter being Peter's like, I have a better plan. Let's fix everybody before we send them back. He's like, why? They're all gonna go back. If they're dead, they're dead. Well, no, we don't want to kill them, but they're already dead. No. Fuck that shit. We're going to fix them. So then what do? They trap Doctor Strange so that they can go out and do their bullshit. They send him to the mirror dimension, and then Peter steals his fucking sling ring and takes off. Meanwhile, MJ and Ned are finding out that Ned's got superpowers. He can make some shit happen. Peter is getting his ass whooped. Doc Ock is fucking him up. Electro is fucking him up. Electro's just sucking up all the energy everywhere, just supercharging himself. He's like, this is a whole new power grid. Like, this isn't even this is AC. I only used to fuck with DC. Like, I don't even know what's going on here. Apparently shit's different in different universes. So as Peter's getting his ass whooped, he's off on his own, trying to figure out what's going on. Ned and MJ are like, we got to find Peter. We got to see if he's okay. And in so doing, we find out not only did my personal favorite Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, show up, but so did Tobey Maguire. And people cheered. So Tobey's there, Andrew's there. There's a little bit of love fest. My favorite part was like when because everyone talks shit about my boy Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. So he's a little down in the dumps. Like, he's a little hard on himself. He's the one that let his girlfriend die, even though she was the only loyal one in the franchise. He let her die. So like, they're like, no, man, you're amazing. You're great. You're awesome. And I agreed 100%. They get together. They concoct a way to fix Doc Ock. Andrew Garfield's like, I already fixed the Lizard once. I got that shit. Don't worry. They're going to cure Green Goblin. They're going to cure Electro, suck all the electricity out of him. They're going to send Sandman back so he can go hang out with his daughter because he's kind of like a good guy, but not really. Some shit's going on. They get all the bad guys together. And then, of course, Green Goblin's like, yeah, you know what? Change my mind. Fuck this shit. And ruins everything. And fucking kills Aunt May. Not happy. Aunt May. Broke my fucking heart. Now Peter had to watch, his uncle die, which we didn't see on screen. Or no, he didn't see his uncle die. But his uncle's not there. But now his version of his Uncle Ben, Aunt May, is now dead in the third movie. Whereas everyone's like, oh, don't feel bad, bro. Like, we fucked up too. I let this robber go and he shot my uncle. And I did this dumb shit and my uncle died. Like, we've been there. We understand. Anyway, they finally cure everyone. My boy Andrew Garfield gets his redemption. He saves MJ like he could not save Gwen in the very last second before she dies. Everyone is going to go back because Peter finally talks to Doctor Strange. He's like, all right, just erase everyone's memory. No one needs to remember who I am or that Peter Parker exists, because that's the only way to fix it. Because Strange is up there doing all this crazy magic shit, and like the sky's breaking and shadows are coming forward. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on. There's a rhino and a scorpion in the sky. Scorpion wasn't even in the fucking movies, but he's there somehow. So they erase everyone's memory, and Peter Parker doesn't exist. No birth certificate, no fingerprints, no dental records, no nothing, just gone. Everyone remembers that Spider-Man's there, and they love Spider-Man still, but Peter Parker does not exist. His girlfriend doesn't know who he is. His best friend doesn't know who he is. His aunt's dead. Happy doesn't know who he is. He's got no bank account. Shout out to Justin, because he was very worried about how much money Peter Parker had. No bank account, no money, nothing, broke as fuck, living in New York. It's an expensive ass place.
Yeah.
But they saved all the bad guys, sent them back to their time. Toby got to go back. Andrew got to go back. Everyone's good. We get our first post-credit scene. Tom Hardy doing Tom Hardy things, sounding drunk at a bar because apparently that's just how he talks when he does an American accent. Finds out that Spider-Man exists. He's like, all right, I'm going to go talk to this dude. Poof, gone. But a little bit of the symbiote is left behind. So we got a little bit of hope that we get the MCU version of Venom outside of what Sony gave us. We'll see what they do with that. And then we got a teaser trailer for Doctor Strange at the very end of the movie that I almost pissed my pants to watch, and I was not happy about.
Same. I was so mad. I was like, that's what I waited for. I had to piss so fucking bad.
Listen, I know the drill by now. I make sure I take care of all that before I go in because
it was a long fucking movie.
The majority of these movies are long like that.
Well, like I was telling Matt, that was the first Marvel movie I got to see in theaters.
First? Like, you mean like first post-COVID or?
No, like first.
Like first ever.
Ever.
Uh-huh.
What the?
Why does it surprise? Did we not do this whole thing with Star Wars? Like, why does it surprise you?
I know Star Wars, but I didn't think we were that,
No.
Like,
listen, I've seen Marvel movies. I never saw them all. I never saw them in order. I decided, when I had the Rona, I was going to watch them all in chronological order, and I did. So I caught up before I was going to see the new Spider-Man because I wanted to see the new Spider-Man in theaters and I wanted to experience that. Put him down. Put him down.
Yeah, it's Bring
I see it.
Bring
put
your
him
friend
down.
up. Bring your friend up.
Put him down.
Because
Fuck.
Listen, Katie, I just want to know if there are any more movie franchises that you need to watch when I should come by to visit you so we can get some shit done. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you,
Fuck
Mr.
you,
Rona, for making your visit because I didn't know that was another area that was.
And this is why I didn't tell you.
I see.
But I got them all watched.
What I've gathered from all of these awesome movie recaps that we've done is Katie's never watched a movie before she met us.
I see.
That's not fucking true.
We introduced Katie to the magic of movies. That is my understanding.
Yeah.
That's not
I think the only movies that she saw before this was like Harry Potter. Everything else has been like.
Okay, I fucking love Harry Potter, so shut up.
I mean, I do too.
I've seen movies.
She's never seen the Harry Potter movie. She read the books.
Yeah,
I read the books and I watched the movies. How fucking dare you?
After you met us, because you didn't know what a movie was till you met us.
You're so full of shit.
That seems like an accurate.
That's disrespectful.
That seems very accurate.
That's disrespectful.
Mr. Matt Ridder, I hear you got something you got to get off your chest, so I'm going to give you this opportunity to explain to us what you got.
These are my confessions. I went back and I watched the original Spider-Man trilogy. Well, not the trilogy. I watched the first two movies. I watched Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. So fucking Green Goblin and Doc Ock. And it made me realize, and this is going to be hard for some horror fans to hear because I know it is a very popular franchise. I don't fucking like Sam Raimi movies. I love the character of Ash. I really, really do. The character is fantastic. But Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, I really don't like them as movies. Army of Darkness is hilarious, but like as a horror movie, it's not really a horror movie. Like it's not. And then I watched these Spider-Man movies, and I remember I've never liked these Spider-Man movies, and it made me sit there and think, you know what? I don't fucking like Sam Raimi movies. That's got to be it because I love the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. I love all of the Tom Holland shit. I thought for a long time I just didn't fucking like Spider-Man. Apparently it wasn't Spider-Man. It was just Sam Raimi. And it's the decisions that Sam Raimi makes. First and foremost, there was a big discussion online about who was the better heroine in these movies. Was it, some racist dude was talking about how our new MJ was a downgrade from Kirsten Dunst. No. Sir, let me tell you something. These hoes ain't loyal, and she is the exact definition of this. All right. Throughout the franchise, all she did was get her ass in trouble. All she did was get caught and captured and saved. She played no integral part in the movie. She had no redeeming qualities. She fucked Peter Parker's best friend. And then while was fucking him, which, by the way, Harry's a piece of shit too, because you knew Peter loved her and you still went and hit that shit. Didn't give a shit, just showing up. You guys are roommates and shit, just bringing her back to the apartment, making Peter listen. You know, poor dude. He's got super spidey hearing. You didn't know that, but still, he could have been downtown, would have heard you fucking Mary Jane in that apartment. Not cool.
Just real quick. At the start of the movie, she was actually dating Flash and then went to Harry.
Yeah, exactly. But Flash didn't give a fuck about Peter, and neither did I at that point. So we'll get into that. So anyway, starts dating Harry. Harry's fucking her. Meets Spider-Man after doing a wet t-shirt contest with some gang members in an alley because, like, that was smart. Oh, people are chasing me. Let me run down an alley in the rain. Brilliant woman. Brilliant woman. Peter saves her, or Spider-Man saves her. She kisses us. You are dating another man. And, like, you think it is an appropriate way to say thank you? To kiss? If an old lady's walking across the street and I grab her and save her from getting hit by a car, I do not expect her to try and make out with me afterwards as a thank you. That's not normal shit. That's not what you do. She makes out with this man upside down in the rain, fucking nipples all pointing out and shit, cold as all hell, probably got a flu after that, and maybe another STD. I don't know what spiders carry. Then, by the end of the movie, she has moved from Harry to Spider-Man, and now, you know what, I think I want to fuck Peter. And I have no problem with a girl wanting to sleep with multiple guys. Like, fine, do your thing. We don't slut shame here. But don't cheat on one boyfriend with a superhero and then cheat on a superhero with the dude that you don't even know is the superhero, that because it's still cheating if you don't know that they're the same person. It is still cheating if your intentions are to fuck around with somebody else other than the person you were just fucking around with. That is why Harry's all mad. Spider-Man killed his dad, right? I hate Spider-Man. Spider-Man killed my dad. First off, you didn't even fucking like your dad. Your dad treated you like shit. He treated your girlfriend like shit. You were a piece of shit, didn't even stick up for her when she did it. You know why Spider-Man killed your dad? Because you were fucking his girl. He was in love with this girl from the time that he could, from his first boner, he loved this girl. You just came in and fucked her. And then he's like, well, payback, your dad's dead. What are you going to do about it? That's what happens when you're not a loyal best friend. And then you get to part 2 and fucking Peter's just whiny and crying. I don't know how I can be Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I can't make my life work. I can't even deliver pizzas because I have to stop to save people. Life is so fucking hard. And then Mary Jane's marrying J. Jonah Jameson, who fucking hates me and talks shit about me, his son. And then fucking leaves J. Jonah Jameson's son at the altar to be with fucking Spider-Man when she finds out it's Peter Parker. So you left a dude you were engaged to at the altar. Whole time just, Peter, tell me you love me. Oh, you don't love me? Okay, I'm gonna go fuck somebody else. Peter, tell me you love me. I know I'm with someone else, but tell me you love me. Oh, you won't tell me you love me? Okay, I'm gonna go fuck someone else. Like, kind of fucking weird ass mind games as she played. That's why he was all fucked up and couldn't get his priorities straight. Couldn't hold down a fucking job. He lost Aunt May's house. He was so negligent, Aunt May was fucking homeless because of this motherfucker. I love The Amazing Spider-Man. I will give the original Spider-Man trilogy this. The villains were better in the original Spider-Man trilogy than they were in The Amazing Spider-Man. Green Goblin and Doc Ock were better than the Lizard, even though I did enjoy the Lizard, and then Electro and, you know, Harry Osborn Part 2 Green Goblin and like the mech suit shit. And Bonesaw. Bonesaw was fantastic. Motherfucking Macho Man Randy Savage. That is all I will give Sam Raimi's films. That is it. 3 is trash. We don't even need to discuss that.
Yeah. Well, that's
okay.
Yeah. I feel like you've been holding on to that for a while. Well, I take that to mean that I guess Tobey Maguire is not that didn't hit for you like it did for the rest of the audience then.
Oh, fuck no. I'm sitting in the theater, right? Andrew Garfield comes through. I'm like, everyone's like, yeah. And I'm like, fuck yeah. You know why? Because he was a real motherfucker. Gwen was down for him. Her dad motherfucking died. And she went to him after the funeral and was like, listen, that you fucked up because you watched my dad die and my dad made you promise you leave me out of it, but I fucking love you, and whether you want to let me love you or not, I'm gonna love you. And she rode for him. She went and got a good ass job. She took care of him. She was there. She did not put herself in danger. And when she did, it was to do something to help save him. She was actually a participant in this relationship with Spider-Man because she knew what the fuck the deal was. Unlike Mary Jane, who was just kind of walking along, la-di-da-di-da, oh, hi, bad guy, and then gets captured and thrown off something. And then Spider-Man's got to stop what he's doing, swing down and save her ass, set her down, trying to go fight crime with the boner because she's a fucking cock tease. Like, Gwen took care of the Amazing Spider-Man. So when Andrew Garfield showed up, I was all for it. When Toby showed up, I'm like, oh, great. Everyone's like, yeah. I'm like, nah, whatever.
Well, I can appreciate that opinion. A lot of that's a good portion of that I can agree with. But with that being said, what did we enjoy from this Spider-Man after that delightful rant that we just got?
I don't think there's anything I didn't enjoy. Like, this movie was fucking fantastic.
It was
absolutely fantastic.
Definitely.
They did a great job.
Yeah. I mean, like, bringing the villains back from movies that, like, some of us watched as kids and, like, grew up with was so fucking cool. And it was, like, the same actors, too, so they didn't fuck that up.
It's true. It's true. I personally, I like that they gave all the Spider-Man Peters that, like, what was it, like 2 or 3 minutes to just have dialogue with each other, just talk. Like, that was just cool as shit to me. Them just kind of...
It was the meme. It was the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other.
Yeah. That was perfect. And then, like, you saw, like, OG Spider-Man Toby is like, oh, you guys have, like, web shooters. And I just, like, I got it right here out of my wrist. Everybody's, like, freaking out.
That whole
like,
conversation was funny as fuck.
That was probably my favorite conversation.
It was.
Because it is weird that you just produced that out of your body. And my favorite line was, does it come out anywhere else? Because
I knew it.
That's my question.
Yeah. I was like, yo, are you gonna share? You want to elaborate on that? Because I mean, that's a fair question. But that all these are science geeks right here. I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary here at this point. I will say, it's not a dislike. It was just something that was, like, slightly off to me, is that all of the villains seemed a lot more comical than they did before. Like, everyone, like, I get it, MCU has more of a, I guess, light personality with a lot of their characters, but I was like, man, with Green Goblin, with Doc Ock, even with Electro at one point, it was like all these guys, they were just like, once they went bad, they were dead serious. And then it's like, from the time they showed up in this movie, it was like, oh, everybody just got jokes now. Everybody's cool and relaxed. Like, it didn't, like, I won't say it was an issue for me. It was just like, oh, okay.
Green Goblin fucked Tom Holland up.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And then murdered Aunt May and came back and laughed at Peter after he killed Aunt May. That is the worst shit. That is worse than anything Green Goblin did to fucking Tobey Maguire in the first movie.
Yeah.
So that Green Goblin was sinister and a dick. Doc Ock only really kind of became funny when they fixed him and they put that chip in.
Yeah.
And then he was kind of a good guy.
Yeah.
Sandman, again, just wanted to be normal and get back to his kid. That was the same thing in the third movie. So, like, he was kind of a good guy when he got sucked out and was working with Peter. So, like, it is what it is. Like, that's that. I will agree with the Lizard. And a little bit of Electro. But, like, you also have to remember, Electro went bad because he hated Andrew Garfield. Because he thought that he had a best friend and his best friend turned on him.
That's true.
My only dislike was when Electro did his shit, we didn't get that awesome fucking music with the talking in the background every time he did something. He lied to me. He hates me. He tricked me. He betrayed me.
That was dope.
With the fucking EDM like build as he. Yeah, I missed that. But
that was dope.
I'm trying to think like
the thing too, like what was with this. I didn't mind so much with Electro because it was like it was entertaining. It was good because Jamie Foxx just gave that that nice like kick to the character like that. That was cool. I wasn't really that didn't make a difference to me. Like the rest of them was just like, all right, I can work with it. No big deal. I like how they got away from like the blue, whatever the hell they were doing in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they gave him like the yellow, like he actually looks like that was better.
Yeah, no, I love the upgrade on Electro. I never understood Doc Ock. All right. So when I rewatched the original Spider-Man 2, so he became evil because the chip on his neck that allowed him to control the tentacles got fried, and then the tentacles were now controlling him.
Yeah.
But why were the tentacles evil?
So they weren't necessarily evil. It was like he got so sucked into making that experiment work that it was kind of like, I guess you could say like his subconscious kind of went into the arms a little bit. And so that side of him that was so like driven to, make it work despite everything else, no matter what else was going on, it was like that kind of took over with them. So it's really like his mind into the arms. It's not so much them, but
that's not what they said. They said that he didn't control the arms controlled him, which would mean that inherently he created evil tentacles. And why did he make them evil?
It's like it's complicated because it's like there was nothing really wrong with them in the very beginning. Like when they first got introduced, they were just like reinforcements. They were going places that he couldn't go physically. But it was like once that chip got fried, it was like they were it's almost like a split personality. Like he wanted this, he had good intentions for this project, but it was like once he saw what it was capable of, he didn't want to stop. And it's like he sees all this stuff going on around him in the room, but it's like, okay, he doesn't care. He's like, make this work regardless.
Yeah, no, he killed his wife and didn't give two fucks.
Right.
Like,
and that's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of like a split personality. Like that side of him that was just like careless about all the other stuff, that is like what took over the arms. And then whatever was good left in him kind of just had to succumb to what the arms were doing because the inhibitor chip got fried. That's kind of what I took from it after watching the original one.
Yeah.
But things I mean, like I said, there's not a whole lot, if anything, that I didn't love about this movie. I love the little pep talk they gave Andrew Garfield because all you fans shit on the Amazing Spider-Man. You do.
I don't know why.
I've heard it. I've seen it my whole life. He's too cool. I prefer my Spider-Man to be a little fucking cool. I like that way better than emo, nerdy ass fucking original Peter Parker. I don't relate to that guy. Nothing for him. But they're like, he's like, yeah, no, I couldn't save Gwen. I couldn't do this. And they're like, no, dude, you're amazing. You're great. Like they pep talked him up, made him feel good about himself. He got the redemption, which was fucking probably one of the best parts of the movie. I'm not going to lie. Him saving MJ after knowing that he failed to save Gwen was probably the biggest part of the movie for me.
Yep.
And it was a fucking Andrew Garfield moment. It wasn't a Tobey Maguire moment.
Relax.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I'll be honest. I didn't pop nearly as much for Tobey as I did for Andrew, just because you could see just by the way, he delivered those lines and just by the way he was doing everything in the movie that he was genuinely enjoying himself. Like it's been, what is it? Like 6-7 years since the Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, since those movies ended. So it's been a long time since he got to play this role. And it's like, you see that someone who genuinely enjoyed it. So it's like now getting to come back and do that again. It's like, my man was happy, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that was a good thing. For Tobey, it was like, I always felt, even when these movies first came out, I always felt like it was kind of like he was a little bit aged out to be playing this role, because I grew up watching like the animated series and stuff like that, and it's like it doesn't really fit. It doesn't really fit. I can accept it because this was the first Spider-Man we had live action, so it's like I'll deal with it and I'll accept it because it's what we got. But it's like something about it just never really felt like it fit. But it's like
Toby stands are gonna hate this show.
Listen.
Well,
I wouldn't call myself a Toby hater, but he's not my favorite. I'll be honest about that. He's really not.
He's my least favorite. It goes Tom, Andrew, Toby.
Yeah, and the thing is, it would have been better had it not been for 3, because the whole thing that happened in 3, it doesn't bear repeating.
Listen,
Like it's just
motherfuckers hype up Spider-Man 2 like fucking AEW fans hype up Tony Khan, and it ain't right. All right,
dude,
it ain't right.
sir.
It wasn't that good of a fucking movie. It really wasn't. It wasn't the greatest Spider-Man movie ever made. Listen, it has problems.
I mean, I think I prefer like original trilogy 1 over 2. I also think it's a damn shame that Andrew Garfield never got a 3rd movie. It's kind of bullshit. Everyone else got a 3rd movie.
We wanted that Sinister Six, and we never got it.
yeah.
Like
That
a dark Spider-Man, like pissed off, like wanting to kill everybody after Gwen dies. I wanted that.
And he talked about how that's what happened, and we never got to see it.
And we never got that.
They're talking about making fucking Spider-Man 4 for Toby. Fuck that.
Oh.
Give me Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Dark Andrew. That's what we want.
Please.
Yeah,
I don't want to see
bullshit.
Spider-Man 4. What are you going to do in Spider-Man 4?
There's nothing to build off of there aside from answering the question as to what happens between him and MJ, which I don't really care.
I don't give a fuck.
Spoiler alert, she fucks somebody else and then goes back to him.
Hoes ain't loyal. But no, Andrew Garfield's like dark arc as a Spider-Man would be such an incredible movie to watch. And we were deprived of that, and that's bullshit. I'm mad. Now that we talk about it more, I'm actually kind of pissed off about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that would have been a good Spider-Man to introduce Venom into, because it's like it in any arc that it introduces, it always comes up when he's vulnerable, and that would have been him at his most vulnerable. And Venom was one of the members of one of the versions of the Sinister Six anyway, so that could have tied right into everything that they were doing, trying to build up to towards the end of this part 2. So that could have worked.
Quick question. I don't remember. I don't know if you guys do. What was the relationship status of Toby and MJ in 3 before he accepted the Venom symbiote? Didn't she leave his ass? Didn't they break up or some shit?
I thought that's the one where she was getting married.
So
no, it was the end of 2 that he fucking swooped down and stole her from J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll be honest, I haven't watched the original trilogy in so long, I don't remember.
They were together, and it was getting kind of rocky when the Venom symbiote showed up. And then after he took it on, and I think it was like after the scene with Sandman, after he had that fight with him and stuff like that, that's where they kind of like started falling out. And then she had
when he had that white boy swag when he's walking down the fucking road. And,
Stop. That is the worst scene I've ever seen in my entire fucking life.
Spider-Man 4.
That was upsetting.
I'm going to tell you guys, so you don't have to make it, so you don't have to watch it. Spider-Man 4, Mary Jane, married to some new dude, 3 kids, gets a divorce, goes back to Spider-Man. Spider-Man raises his children. Because that's the kind of lame.
Yeah.
No, stop it.
I would pass on that immediately. I will say this, and I mentioned it when I was on Young Kings with TC last week. I got very annoyed with Tom Holland. That not his performance, just Peter Parker in general. I got very annoyed with the little stupid shit, because it's like he's telling you specifically what is going to happen when you cast a spell, and it's like you just continue to just screw it up one after another after another. You screwed the spell up, and then it's like all the villains get brought in, and it's like, okay, now you want to make your own plan as to how to adjust it. Like, that is none of your concern as to what happens to them when they go back whatsoever. Like, I get you're young, you're a kid. None of this has anything to do with you. You are sitting up here trying to put your own fires out. The whole world knows who you are. They hate you, they love you, whatever, but you can't get into college. You got all these issues. You worried about all these other villains that showed up from another universe fighting other Spider-Men, that you're worried about them going back. Like, that's not your business, bro. Send them back and deal with what you got going on right here. But between that and the spell, it was like, bruh, at a certain point in time, you don't get a pass because you're a teenager. It's like a certain point in time, you need to get your head smacked, because that was just ridiculous.
I got a dislike.
What's up?
We did not get a part in this movie where he explains an old movie to the other two Spider-Man as part of his plan to defeat these guys.
Damn it.
Because seeing Toby and Andrew look at each other, realizing that this is a child, and as old as they are, talking to them about a movie that they probably watched when they were his age, would have been fantastic.
Damn it. You're right.
Now, see, what's really upsetting, and Matt's not going to like this, but I'm just going to throw it out there anyway. So, this Peter made it very clear in the very first appearance he had in Civil War that he is a Star Wars fan, right? So he's watched the Star Wars movies, but had a one-on-one conversation on multiple occasions with Nick Fury, who just so happens in another world universe to be a Jedi in Star Wars, but made no mention of that. No, like, hey, you look like someone I've seen before. No mention of that whatsoever in any of the movies. That to me, I'm like, all right, listen, I know we're not Deadpool. We're not like intentionally trying to break the fourth wall, but come on now. That's something.
We can still do that though. Like that could be the next Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Homeless.
Fuck.
Because he's broke as fuck in every that's where we got to go now. Spider-Man Homeless. Sounds like something J. Jonah Jameson would say. We can still do that, you know, in whatever next Avengers movie, New Avengers, Super Friends, whatever the fuck they do with these new cast of characters that they're slowly filtering in for this phase. Nick Fury's still around. We could still get that. Like,
I hope we do.
We could absolutely get a part in the movie where he's like, you know, I never noticed this before, but do you know who Mace Windu is? And then Nick could just give him a look or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I hope that happens now.
Or maybe Ned does it. Ned's like, you never noticed that he looks like Mace Windu?
Oh, true.
I do want to know, like, what the long-term plan.
Oh wait, no, Ned doesn't remember. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that
sucked. That sucked. That really, like, and that the first time I watched it, I was like, oh. But the second time,
watched it.
I had to take my sister last week, so I went twice.
Okay.
But no, the second time I was like, damn, this really fucked up. Like, nobody remembers. like the only people who really mattered at this point was MJ and Ned, because I mean, like I said, May died. Happy was kind of just like the somewhat uncle, stepdad, whatever the hell was going on.
Happy mattered because Happy was the only way he got the cool technology from the Stark company to do the shit he had to do. Like that nano suit that he wore that fucking basically took over Doc Ock's tentacles and he was just controlling them like a fucking puppet and shit, does not exist without Happy. Like,
I mean, well, that's why he has a new suit in the end that he made himself.
No.
I mean, it's shiny.
He doesn't look like Makazi. I don't know how this is gonna be.
Stop it.
No, I do wonder like where they want to go with Ned, because I didn't even realize this until I looked it up. Ned is actually, his character is actually the Hobgoblin. I don't know if you guys know. So the Hobgoblin
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, so I'm fucked up because I never read the comics, but I watched the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon. And this has always had me fucked up because in the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon, the Hobgoblin was Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin was Harry Osborn. And then in the movies, it's the Green Goblin first.
It was so many different people. So the original Hobgoblin, I can't remember the guy's name, but it was somebody totally different. And Norman hired him because he wanted to get rid of the Kingpin. And then at one point, Harry was the Hobgoblin. Norman was the original Green Goblin, and then Harry became the Green Goblin. So it was just so many.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was so many switching parts.
Was it the wheelchair dude? Was it the wheelchair dude?
Smythe. I don't think so.
Yeah.
No. Because he at one point was Vulture, I think. But now I didn't know, like, in the comics, Ned's character was actually the Hobgoblin too. So it's like if you look up his character, it like if you just Google Ned Lees or whatever, it says Hobgoblin. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Because they kind of brought that up too in the movie.
Yeah,
that, all their best friends tried to kill them, and then he like goes up to Tom Holland. He's like, I would never kill you.
Yeah, and then there's that scene where he says, "Oh, I wonder if there's another Ned out there somewhere." They do that a lot.
But
like
now that Ned isn't his best friend anymore,
Hobgoblin.
Maybe see now here's the thing.
That's the next movie.
Why would anyone want to be Spider-Man? There are all these Spider-Man. I want to be Spider-Man. Spider-Man is destined to never get pussy. All right. Andrew Garfield. Gwen's dead. Tobey Maguire. We talked about Kirsten. We know what MJ's up to. Now this MJ doesn't remember who the fuck he is. Like, Spider-Man is just destined to be miserable and alone his entire life. Like that. Why would you want to be that person? Why would I want to grow up to be that person? Give me a superhero that gets laid all the time. That's who I want to be.
Well, it depends. It depends if there are other options. Like this Spider-Man might have a Gwen out there, might have a Felicia Hardy out there. So I mean, it depends on what the options are. Yeah, because we haven't seen that yet. Like Amazing Spider-Man 2 had a Felicia Hardy, but it was just like a split second. Like if you blink, you missed it.
No, she was Norman Osborn's assistant, who then became like the head of Oscorp under Harry.
Yeah,
and she was giving Harry all the dirt, and I was all for that.
Yeah. I didn't like we didn't get to explore that further and see where that could have went. That's another reason why
we should.
Andrew Garfield
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's another reason. It's as if we didn't give y'all enough already. There's another one. But yeah, that was a lot to look into for that too.
I mean, you could also kind of tell at the end of the movie that MJ like had this sense that she remembered Peter.
Oh yeah,
and I'm pretty sure. Again, I've only seen it once, but I'm pretty sure she was still wearing the Black Dahlia necklace.
I totally forgot about it. I wasn't even looking.
I think I was like seeing stuff on Twitter about it that she was still wearing the broken Black Dahlia necklace because it got broken during all the bullshit with Mysterio, and then he like still gave it to her.
Yeah. I honestly didn't even think to look for it because, like, after all that stuff that happened in part 2, it was like didn't even cross my mind.
But that could be Ned's origin story, guys. That's how he becomes the Hobgoblin. He is in love with MJ, but he is friend zoned, and then Peter comes back into MJ's life, and he finds out that Peter is Spider-Man, and he is like, "You took my girl. I'm going to fucking kill you."
That's a strong possibility. I mean, they're going to MIT. He's an engineer, so he's working on shit anyway. Spider-Man is still him. He's got a new look now and everything like that, but they don't know his identity. Yeah. Which is honestly is more traditional to like the comic look, which is pretty dope. But Yeah, it's like they don't know who he is. So I mean,
shout out to Tom Holland too, his Spider-Man, his Peter Parker, for going and selflessly trying to get MJ and Ned their spots back in MIT, and also getting his back, and then losing it by erasing everyone's memory. But like, he went out there, saved that lady, got them their shit. Like, she's like, I got you. Don't worry about it. Thank you. You're not so bad after all.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. He just really tried and just wanted to.
Doesn't know how to shut the fuck up.
And he talks a lot, but most kids do.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those traits that, you know, that younger Peter Parker kind of has. But it's like with him, it's just like you just getting yourself into a lot of dumb shit that you don't need to, which is why, again, like I said, like you're pushing the boundaries of, you know, your past here because of your teenage status. Like, you just going way over. Like even Tony could, you know, had a point where he was like, all right, listen, you need to shut the fuck up at this point and just chill out.
Yeah.
But
so we want Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
We don't give a fuck about Peter hooking up with baby mama MJ and her 3 kids in Spider-Man 4, but we're probably gonna get that. What do we want to see from Spider-Man Homeless?
Stop.
What else are they gonna name it? We did Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. Now he's broke. It's Spider-Man Homeless.
It's not gonna be homeless. It makes sense.
It could be the name of
also,
our group.
I don't know
Spider-Man
why.
Homie don't play that.
Look,
I mean, that's what it should be.
We just talked about how he's self-aware when it comes to Star Wars. It's going to be called A New Home. That's what's going to be called right there, and that makes perfect sense.
I prefer Homeless.
Of course you do.
But we got to see where Venom catches up to him.
So then my question is, who? Is it Eddie Brock? Is it Flash Thompson? Or is it J. Jonah Jameson's son? Because we know originally the symbiote comes down. J. Jonah Jameson's son is an astronaut, and the symbiote comes down on the spaceship with him, and he is the original Venom. And then it goes to Eddie Brock. So I think even Flash had it for a little bit. Flash,
he did.
I don't know if Flash could pull that off. Like this Flash,
no,
this Flash was awful.
Like it that doesn't bother me because it's like, you know what, it's a different movie, you're going with a different twist to the character. Like, it's entertaining. I'm not mad at it, but it's like that's never gonna be Venom ever. So
we saw what happened when they tried to go with a different take on Venom, which actually, if I remember correctly, Sam Raimi did on purpose because he didn't want to put Venom in the movie, and Sony forced him to. So he's like, "All right, I'm gonna ruin fucking Venom, and then we'll be done with him." Another reason why I don't like Sam Raimi.
But it was just the casting. Like, why would you pick this person? Like, plenty of people have seen that 70s show, more than enough people. So it's like, this is an identifiable face, and you just thought, oh yeah, that's a perfect Eddie Brock.
Yeah,
like,
Topher fucking Grace is a perfect Venom. Good job, guys.
For full disclosure, there are only two scenes in Spider-Man, 2 sequences in Spider-Man 3 that I even remotely liked. And that was when Peter initially got the symbiote, the whole nightmare sequence and stuff like that, where he got the symbiote and it initially got like over his whole suit. And then he fights Sandman. There was that, and then there was the church scene where he takes it off, because it was basically a shot-for-shot version of what happened in the animated series, which, like we said, we grew up watching because I loved it. So those 2 parts was it. After that, I don't care for the rest of it. What's up?
Okay, do you have anything before I go on to something else?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Did you guys see the trailer for Morbius before?
Yes.
Did you see Michael Keaton as Vulture in the trailer for Morbius?
Yes.
Yep.
Are you familiar with Morbius, Katie?
No, actually.
Okay. We are from the cartoon.
Yep.
Okay.
So Michael Morbius is essentially real life Batman.
Basically.
Sort of. But it's kind of like kind of like an anti-hero, essentially,
Yeah.
and Peter's eventual friend. So I'm wondering if Morbius comes out and then we see either Morbius and Venom, or if there is another Venom, or because we saw him with Falcon, or not Falcon, Vulture, if we're going to see Morbius and Peter do some things together in the Spider-Man Homeless.
This so and I'm actually glad you mentioned that. This has so many like potential crossovers going on that it's like it's insane. So did you see Eternals?
I have not seen Eternals yet.
Mm-mm.
I'm waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus.
Okay. I'm not gonna spoil it, but the end credits scene basically sets up the introduction of the new Blade, which is going to be played by Mahershala Ali. And Blade, you know, obviously as the vampire hunter, has that crossover with a character like Morbius.
Mhm.
And obviously Michael Keaton's Vulture is from that Spider-Man universe. So it's like there's so many potential crossovers that could happen here. It's just like it's fucking nuts. But I would love something like that. But honestly, like because I've seen it more from the Spider-Man universe, like that's something that you could tie into it. Like that's because there's going to be more Spider-Man movies. Like they're taking a break, but there's going to be more with Tom. But I mean,
He's going to be the new Iron Man.
That's a whole arc. Yeah. That's a whole story arc that you could have between him, Morbius, Blade. There was the other character too.
Vulture.
He's in no. It was the one of the guys Eternals, and because he's got a whole like backstory, stuff like that ties into it. But I'll leave that to you when you see the movie. But
yeah, it comes out later this month. So
yeah, that whole thing.
January. Yeah, it actually comes out January 12th on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
good to know.
Justin wants to join. Should I let him in?
Might as well. Go ahead.
Vamos.
Oh, he's the Black Knight. That's what it is.
Okay.
Oh,
Moon Knight.
you said it is.
No. This dude was Black Knight. Moon Knight is going to be somebody else.
Hi, Justin.
Homie. What's up?
Yo, what did I miss?
Everything. We're literally at the end of the show.
Yeah, we basically went through everything.
We're at the end of the show. We're at the end of the show.
Yeah. So tell us what you thought about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Spider-Man No Way Home was probably one of the best comic book movies ever to be put out. And I know you probably said all your things that you love about the movie, and I agree with all of y'all. But I know y'all didn't talk about the scene that so endearing to me, which is the Filipino scene, Ned's house with the Lola, the grandma.
We really did it.
You know,
that's the crazy thing. I was thinking of it though.
She was great too.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, you know, I was thinking, should they had subtitles for the Tagalog words, right? But I was thinking, just like if you met any other Filipino old lady, the American-born person will just translate what they say anyway. So that's just like in a regular household. That's what they do, you know. And so the fact that not only did they have that representative in there, but the whole house. If you go to an old lady Filipino's house, a Lola's house, it looks like that. Clean as shit. Flowers and shit like that. And then there was a scene, I don't know if you guys remember, there's a scene on the wall where it had like little knives and shit like that. That's in every like old lady's Filipino's house. And then the bread that they were throwing, that's pan de sal. You know what I'm saying? That's our bread. You know what I'm saying? So I loved it. I cried. You know, representation to the fullest. So it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah.
Are you excited for anything to see in Spider-Man Homeless?
Spider. Well, you know what? You know what's funny? Because Rick had mentioned earlier, the maybe they're saving the landlord for the next one.
Oh yeah, the guy.
Right. Maybe they're saving it for the next
Toby's landlord.
Toby's landlord, right?
Yeah.
They might be saving, and that crazy ass thotty daughter that he had. Remember?
Nothing,
Oh my God.
nothing from Toby's Spider-Man needs to ever show up in these movies again. Y'all got it. You might get Spider-Man 4 that you don't need anymore. You're done. Toby's done. It's over. Lame
You don't want the
ass.
dancing? You don't want the dancing? Remember the dancing?
Fuck no.
Hell no.
Stop.
I do want to take a second here real quick to say, because I don't know if I made myself clear. I love Ash versus Evil Dead, the series. I love the TV series. It is one of my favorite TV series. Absolutely love that. I love the newest Evil Dead movie. I enjoy Army of Darkness as a comedy, but not as a horror movie. So there's that. But I know horror movie fans are going to take my because I've been lying to myself about how I feel about Evil Dead. For like, no bullshit. I have an Evil Dead board game that I funded with a Kickstarter. I got dice made from the fucking cabin from the original movie and all that shit.
What?
Yes. When I funded this motherfucker, because I had lied to myself, because everyone's like, no, Evil Dead's one of the greatest movies. And I do enjoy Ash. I love Ash. So like, I just lied to myself and said, no, it is a good movie and I do like it. And then rewatching the Spider-Man, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to, no, fuck this. I hate these movies. I don't hate them, but I don't like them. I do not like them.
I can't believe we didn't know you had like a whole ass board game made.
This is news.
Well, no, they made a board game and I funded the Kickstarter. So I got the board game from funding the Kickstarter. But the dice were the tier that I funded. So they sent me custom wooden dice with a little fucking card and everything stating that the dice was made from wood from the actual cabin in the original movie.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's dope as fuck.
That's terrifying.
If you love the movies.
I mean, that's still cool as fuck though. Like,
there are things I like about the movies, but the movies as a whole I do not like.
Well, I mean, the first two are kind of the same thing. I mean, one version is more serious, and the second one goes a little more comical. It's basically just rehashing the first movie with a less serious tone to it.
The first quarter of the movie is kind of like remaking the original movie, and then it does its own thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
But,
like Speed 2.
Sure. I don't remember shit about Speed 2. That was the one on the boat, right?
That was the one on the boat.
Control. Yeah. Cruise control.
Yeah.
Why was that even a fucking thing?
I know. Trust me. I was so mad.
Oh,
like,
you've seen that movie?
Katie, you seen that movie?
Yes.
Oh, we established. See,
no,
we established at the very beginning that
bullshit.
Katie's never seen movies before she started doing this with us.
That is a
because
fucking lie.
He had to get caught up on everything,
right?
Before we started doing the recaps.
Have you seen Speed 1?
Yes.
Oh, thank
God. Have you seen The Net?
The Net? No.
What the hell?
Sandra Bullock? Okay.
Listen, let me make myself fucking clear. I have seen movies. You all just take it as I've never seen a single fucking movie.
Have you seen Demolition Man?
I think so.
Do you know about the seashells?
That's right. Yeah. Yep.
I think I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know. Deadass.
Since we're talking about Sandra Bullock movies, I was
gonna say, what? There's a thing here.
You guys act like I've never seen a fucking movie in my entire life. This is bullshit. I hate being bullied by my friends. Fuck you guys. Listen, I've put in the work this year.
Have you seen The Engagement? Have you seen The Engagement? The Engagement.
That's a good one.
The Engagement with Ryan Reynolds?
The Proposal?
Oh, yeah, The Proposal. I'm about to say
that's why I was confused.
Yes.
I love The Proposal.
Have you seen that?
Okay. Yes. Shout out to Betty White. Rest in peace.
The Lake House? The Lake House? Have you seen The Lake House?
I think so. Why are
I'm just naming Sandra Bullock.
Quizzing me now. He's just going up to he's just going up to Sandra Bullock catalog and just listen.
We need to bring this to a close because Reek's internet has been at Gwen Stacy this entire time since I'm recording a backup file. But before it goes Mary Jane Watson on us, we don't want to lose them. So
yeah. Well, with that being said, I want to thank my panel here for joining me, and Justin for jumping in here towards the end. Really quick, this is a new year now. It's the first episode of the new year, but I want to thank everyone who's been listening, watching, supporting. Most importantly, I want to thank these two people that have been helping me expand on my content. I've made so many more episodes than I really expected to, thanks to everyone here. I don't know where it's gonna be at on the video, so I'm just
It's gonna point everywhere.
I'm not even gonna bother pointing.
Point everywhere.
I just mean these two people.
Yeah, well, bro, you been yeah, no, like I had I didn't have a specific plan for how much I was gonna expand on it, but I mean, you guys really came in here and helped me like put out so much more content than I planned to. So, you know, big thank you to you guys, and again, everyone who's been listening and supporting. Gonna be working to improve on that even more this year. So, stay tuned for that. But before we get out of here, I would like all of you lovely people to let us know where we can find you, social media, what you guys are doing on your shows. Ladies first.
Oh fuck! I got distracted. Sorry. Shit. You can follow me on Twitter at KatieRossin13. I have a link tree in my bio to take you all things She Leads Showcase. Please stop. I can see you. Please stop. Twitch.tv/She Leads Showcase. Usually Thursdays 9 p.m. Eastern time. Holidays are over, so that's the day we're going back to. YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. I'm ignoring all three of you. Fuck you guys. I can see you. Y'all ain't slick. You're not slick. I'm gonna have my Inside the Mind of, right? Like, I'm assuming soon. We have to pick a day when me and you record.
I'm pretty much good whenever. I got all the questions except for Justin's last question. I think I need one from him still. Yeah, we can't hear you anymore.
We cannot hear you.
Yeah, we went out. I would like to reiterate that I need my questions asked under the guise of the rack.
No, because then I'll know they're yours. We can hear you now.
Yeah. Okay, you can hear me good? Okay.
Yeah, you only sent me one question. I need a second question.
You need two? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll send you two.
A funny one.
No problem. Okay.
Funny one.
All right, I'll think of a funny one real quick.
Yeah.
All right, because Sunday, Matt?
Sure, that should work.
All right, cool, because I don't work Monday, so I can get drunk as fuck Sunday, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll have a weekend up.
I need the rack with his friend, Mr. Rona. I need all of that.
We'll work something out. Don't worry about it.
I feel disrespected. It wasn't my intention to get coronavirus, and I can't have the rack just read your questions, because then I'm gonna know they're your fucking questions. I said the rack can make an appearance or two. I can't. No, listen. The point of this was for me to feel somewhat comfortable. I'm comfortable with Matt. The rack makes me uncomfortable. As he does with everybody.
Oh, really?
The rack makes everyone uncomfortable. The rack makes Pretty Kyle uncomfortable. I tried pitching the rack coming on Pretty Kyle's show, and he shut that shit down. He wants nothing to do with it.
He said no fucking thank you, which
Yes, exactly.
I'm going to be on every month in January. But
Shout out.
yeah, I have a shit ton of shows up. I plan on doing more. I'm probably going to be on Smacking Around more than Vince's.
Wow.
This year. Bold statement, but we'll see.
2022 predictions.
2022 predictions. I'll be on the show more than Vince. That's it. Somebody else go.
You guys can find me at Matt Ridder, MattRidder on Twitter only. Also, Facebook.com/groups/Smacking It Raw. And there is a Twitter and an Instagram. It is Smacking It Raw Pod. I run the Twitter. Vince runs the Instagram. Creation World is the banner under which the Smacking It Raw podcast exists. So check out creationworld.com, Facebook.com/Creation World, and The Creation World on Twitter and Instagram. That's TheCreatia World. I am on a very recent episode. I don't know when this is going to drop. So of the Warren Hayes show. So you can check that out. That was fun. Had fun with that. I'm going to make sure that Reek stops filming pornos on the side, and we get this Nightmare on Elm Street episode done with TC, and also maybe part 2 of the Dragon Ball Z episode that we still need to do. So I've got to start forcing some things into existence, apparently. So look for those, and also all the stuff that we've done. You know, the Halloween, the Friday the 13th, the Star Wars, all the great shit that we've put together for these movie reviews. Candyman / Halloween Kills review, all this great shit. So go check all that stuff out over at the Havoc Hour. Reek is awesome, and I'm really glad he gave me a platform to talk about something other than wrestling.
Yay.
No doubt. Well, you know, you can find me kind of at Getcho Podcast on Twitter, Getcho Podcast on Instagram. Do I have a podcast? Kind of. Am I trying to do my own podcast? Kind of. Am I kind of a free agent to be on other people's podcasts? Sure. Why the hell not? You can find me at Get Your Podcast on Twitter and Get Your Podcast on Instagram. These are all my homies. I'm glad I started the year right with my friends. So shout out to everybody here. Peace, love, and applesauce, baby.
What the fuck?
Goodness. Oh, you guys are nuts. You guys can find me at Recap24 on Instagram and on Twitter. And as always, you can find these episodes up on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your streaming podcasts. And also, if you want to see the video version, which is much more entertaining for obvious reasons, then you will find this up on YouTube. So, if we got nothing else, for my co-hosts for the evening, this has been the Havoc Hour. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this far, we appreciate you. Happy New Year once again, and we will see you all next time.